What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans, and gentlemen, we are recapping an epic matchup between Big Ten heavyweights, Ohio State Buckeyes and the Oregon Ducks, who I am fastly becoming a big fan of. I don't have a college football team, but the Oregon Ducks are definitely winning me over. What they've been able to put together after acquiring um, Dylan Gabriel. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. After what they've been able to do with Dylan Gabriel, the Dan Lanning coach, Dan Lanning, his story, and I just really love the fire that he coaches with. And just week in, week out, man, these guys are winning impressive football games, and I don't think none more impressive than this game, as this was a back and forth. The Oregon Ducks were able to pull the victory out of this game, 32-31, by the slimmest of margins. Ohio State had an opportunity to win the game on the last drive. He had about a minute, a little bit under 2 minutes left to try to make a run for it, but time just ran out. Will Howard, phenomenal quarterback out there in Ohio, kind of made a blunder as well. I gotta say he should have taken a Hail Mary shot into the end zone at least, but he ended up rushing and he slid, and then time ran out on him. And that's just how the cookie crumbled for that. But I kind of wanted to go through the game and highlight some things that I saw during this game. Now, if y'all been rocking with me, I'm still a rookie at talking college football, but I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. In my college football bag. So, real quick, I just wanted to mention some of the scoring drives that occurred in this game, because it was literally a back and forth. Every time one team scored, the other scored, and it just kind of continued on from that way. But Will Howard opened the game with a 1 yard touchdown rush. Oregon would follow. This is all the first quarter scoring anyway. Oregon would follow up with Jordan James, a 3 yard touchdown rush from him, who I think if Ashton Genty out there in Boise State, if he wasn't around, then we would be talking about Jordan James perhaps being the best running back in college football right now. I do expect to see his name in the NFL draft either next season or whenever he comes out of college. Second quarter opened up with Keyshawn Junkins. He had a 1 yard touchdown rush. And also, the Oregon Ducks went for a 2 point conversion in that first quarter after the Jordan James score, which I do not know why. I guess they were just trying to be a little bit, just get the momentum on their side. This game did happen on their home turf, so maybe they were just trying to take advantage of the home cooking. But whatever the case, after the Keyshawn Junkins touchdown run, it was followed up by Evan Stewart, who is perhaps maybe the best wide receiver for the Oregon Ducks. They got a lot of weapons out there. Evan Stewart had a 10-yard touchdown pass from Dylan Gabriel. They tried for the 2 point conversion again on after that touchdown, and it did not work. Atticus Sappington hit a 27-yard field goal that would give the Ducks their first lead of the game at 15-14. Emeka Egbuka had a 15-yard pass from Will Howard that gave the Ohio State Buckeyes the lead. They were able to regain the lead, I was trying to say. Tez Johnson caught a 48-yard pass from Dylan Gabriel. That was an absolute bomb. You can argue argue play of the game, but there were so many phenomenal plays this game. It's hard to kind of nail down just one. The third quarter, second half would open up with a Jeremiah Smith 6 yard pass for the freshman, 6 yard pass from Will Howard, where the Ohio State Buckeyes were able to regain the lead at 28-22. That would be the only score of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, we got Dylan Gabriel with a 27-yard run, which was pretty much, again, there was so many phenomenal plays that you could throw that in the play of the game bag as well. Jaden Fielding. That the lead would be 28-29 after the Dylan Gabriel run. And that was on a 5-play, 60-yard drive. Jaden Fielding would give the Buckeyes the lead again with a 40-yard field goal bomb. Very impressive. And then Atticus Sappington hit the game-winning field goal that would cap the game 32-31. And then soon thereafter that would be the Will Howard play that I mentioned earlier, where I thought he should at least gave his wide receivers an opportunity to pull a miracle Hail Mary type of deal, but was not able to. And let's just look at the box score real quick so we can get a little idea of what everybody was producing out here. Will Howard. We'll start with the Buckeyes. He went 28 of 35, 326 yards, and 2 touchdown scores. I like Will Howard a lot, man. He's kind of like one of those dudes that's flying under the radar, leading this Buckeyes team. The Buckeyes did come into this game ranked number 2 on the AP poll. I don't expect that they will fall too far, because this game was so epic. So I can see them at 5 on the new rankings. We'll talk about that in the next video. But again, very impressive by the young guy. Did not have a bad game at all. It's just that last play, time ran out on him. Travion Henderson led the way for the Russian core as far as he had 10 carries for 87 yards, no touchdowns, but he did break a 53-yard big rush on the for the game. Another one of those could have been eligible for play of the game. Keyshawn Junkins again, he had 11 carries for 23 yards. He was able to get a touchdown score as we mentioned before. Will Howard had 9 carries for 13 yards. He had a rushing score this game as well. To open up the game. Jeremiah Smith, the freshman, who I'm very high on right now, 9 receptions, 100 exact yards for him. He also put up a 38-yard bomb and a touchdown score. Emeka Egbuka had a touchdown as well, 10 receptions for 93 yards. And it was kind of spread around from that point. Will Howard did a very good job making sure everybody ate this game. We had 3 receptions for G. Scott, 2 for Quayshawn Judkins. Will Carmack, had a big catch for 32 yards himself. So just could not be mad at what the Buckeyes did, the outing that they had, but unable to come away with the victory. The defense for both these teams, man, was absolutely absent. This was an all offense, if you like your football that way. No sacks, no interceptions for the Ohio State defense, who I got to check and see how good or bad they've been. I've been keeping up with more of the skill guys for the Ohio State Buckeyes, but clean game for the Oregon Ducks offense. Speaking of, Dylan Gabriel, he went 23 of 34 this game, 341 yards, with 2 touchdowns himself in the air. He also had a rushing touchdown on 4 carries and 32 yards. Again, had that one rush, 27-yard rush that led to a touchdown. Jordan James, another guy that I'm very high on. He had 23 carries, 115 yards, a touchdown score for himself. And for the Oregon Ducks, man, so many weapons in that wide receiver room. I do got to say, Trayshawn Holden, he had a big catch for 32 yards, but ended up getting ejected before spitting on an Ohio State defender, which I found just to be despicable, man. I know these guys are younger, still maturing, still developing, but that behavior for me, as somebody that I still coach, but somebody that coaches, youth, that's just something that I can't promote, because I've always said that we're not just athletes were gentlemen and ladies as well. For my young ladies that I coach, we're gentlemen and we're ladies, man. We got an etiquette to this. We win with class, we lose with class. So I just found that to be very disgusting on Trayshawn Holden's part. But at the same time, I'm not defending him at all. This was a big game, a big rivalry. I can't say rivalry, but just a big game. I think this is the Oregon Ducks. I'm not sure. What they always in the Big Ten? Like I say, I'm still learning my college football and all these conferences too, man. There be so many conferences. And I'm just learning about the FCS. We got the FBS and the FCS. I sat through a whole FCS game, Montana State and Iowa. Oh no, excuse me, Idaho. Thinking, this was just another game I seen. I think they were both ranked. And I'm looking in the AP poll. I'm like, well, I don't see no Montana State. Come to find out, there's a whole different conference. So that's how, that your boy's learning. Give me some time. But regardless, like I say, Trayshawn Holden, that was very despicable on him. But this was a big game. A lot of emotions, tensions was running high. He made a big play in his own right, but not cool. Not cool at all. Spitting on somebody else. But Evan Stewart led the way for the wide receiving core. He had 7 receptions, 149 yards, and that touchdown score we mentioned earlier. His longest catch was a 69-yard bomb. Tej Johnson made some big plays himself. That 48-yard bomb that led to his touchdown score had 7 receptions, 75 yards. And man, if I can go back to Evan Stewart, I believe that 69-yard catch that he had was the longest play for the Oregon Ducks this season or in their school history, one of the two. But that was a very impressive play. He caught the ball and dragged the defender like another 8 yards. So very strong, very, very adept young man. I'm going to be definitely checking for him a lot more. Terrence Ferguson had 4 receptions, 62 yards, no touchdown score. And for the defense, let's see. 1 sack for the defense, no interceptions on their part. And like I said, the defense was not really a factor for either one of these teams. But respectfully, there was a lot of offense, very entertaining game, and could not be mad about it. I like some defense myself, probably the number one thing I like about sports. I'm one of those guys that was coached by some defensive-minded coaches, so I have a true appreciation for it. Let's look at the team stats real quick before we get out of here. There was a lot of yards on both sides. Again, like we mentioned before, first downs, 21 first downs for the Buckeyes, 18 for the Ducks. 4-12 on third down conversions for the Ohio State Buckeyes. 6 of 14 for the Ducks. One of those stats that I always look out for. Giving your offense another opportunity to get out there, some fresh downs. We also had a couple 4th down conversions. Ohio State went 2 of 2, 100% for them. Oregon went 50% for their 4th down conversions. They went 1 of 2. Total yards, 467 for the Buckeyes, 496 yards, well over 800 yards. That's almost close to 1,000 yards in one football game from two teams. That's just some very, like I say, no defense to be found in this game. Passing yards, 326 for the Buckeyes, 341 for the Ducks. Rushing yards, 141 for the Buckeyes, and we had 155 for the Ducks. Turnovers, just 1, and that was committed by the Buckeyes on a fumble. 8 penalties for the Buckeyes, and 3 for the Oregon Ducks. Time of possession, another key stat I always look for, 33 minutes and 4 seconds for the Buckeyes, 26 minutes and 56 seconds for the Ducks. So just another, again, impressive performance by both these squads. Ryan Day over there in Ohio State, I've been very aware of him. I've been kind of cautious of him, but I can't be upset again with the Ohio State Buckeyes, how they played. This game was what could have easily been, on the win column for them as well. And it's just kind of one of them situations where somebody had to win, right? But I'm happy and I'm proud of these Oregon Ducks. I did not have them winning this game. I thought the Buckeyes would, kind of put them back in their place. The Buckeyes have been a powerhouse for many, many years, and I thought that this would be, one of those games that they made a statement. But it was an instant classic, instant thriller, and I'm glad I would have the front row seat to watch it. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. On your way out, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on this here platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to know what y'all got to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.